My name is Angela Hall. I am an area manager with Rick 9 and the president of Ben. Today I will be interviewing our site lead, Josh Ingram. And so, Josh, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Josh Ingram, as you just stated. Graduated from Virginia State University, historically black college, with a degree in manufacturing engineering. I've been married for 9 years. I have a 5-year-old daughter. I have 13 years in the Army National Guard. A passion of mine is creating opportunities for others to excel and then helping them go through their journey.
So wait a minute. I didn't know that you went to VSU. Down in Petersburg?
Yes.
What? Oh, wow. Oh, and another side note, I'm from South Carolina.
I'm from South Carolina.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell because I have a country accent. You don't have the country accent. Sometimes when I'm talking, it just comes right out. Okay, well, let's move on to our second question. So when did you start your career in Amazon?
So I started my career in Amazon in August of 2017. My daughter was born in July of 17. So when I onboarded, I had about 2 weeks with my daughter being born, and then I transitioned to Amazon.
Seriously? So you came into Amazon doing 12-hour shifts with a newborn?
Yes.
Oh my
Well, my wife
God.
I had the night shift, so yeah.
Okay. All right. So what made you decide to come to Amazon?
Yeah, so I'd say most of the roles that I had prior to Amazon dealt with more of an analytical approach, individual contributor type roles. And then with having 13 years within the Army National Guard, I wanted a role or a company that would allow me to use both leadership and analytics. And Amazon came knocking, and I took the opportunity.
That's amazing because prior to me coming to Amazon, I did 10 years in the Air Force. So then after the Air Force, I went and did a year at Kroger, was the manager there, and then I was like, okay, it's time for something different. And I started out as Amazon as a tier 1.
I remember.
Yeah. Yes, because, that's another story later on. So have you found that working in Amazon kind of equates with working with the military?
Yeah, 100%. So there's things about the military that translate very well. One is being able to build a team, a cohesive unit, working towards a common goal, the camaraderie within your team. You're spending more time here at work in many cases than you do at home. So it can be a family type environment, and those are some of the fundamentals from the military that translate very well with Amazon.
I found I've met a lot of veterans here at Amazon, which I thought that was really cool. So moving on to our next question. What do you look forward to within the site?
Yeah, so 2 things. My goal has been, especially this year, is to focus on engagement and in safety. One of the main things I look forward to is primarily continue to launch affinity groups across the site. And then the second thing is to change the perception of safety within the building. We've done so from a metrics perspective. I think we need to do a better job of communicating with associates and then allowing them to voice their concerns and making change related to that.
Okay. What are some of your greatest achievements at Rick 5/Rick 9?
Yeah, so I think that the greatest achievement that we've had as a site is we look at our transition over the last 3 years is we've now transitioned to really best in class, right? So Rick 5 is a top performer within its equipment type or MHE cluster, represents some of the best productivity within the network. Same thing for Rick 9. If you look at the processing rates, represent number 1 in the network as well. And we provide the benchmark and the template for others to follow. So that's definitely one. I think number 2 is if you look at since me taking over as a site leader, we've been able to reduce injuries by almost 60% since literally the day since we started. So two of the best accomplishments we've had as a unit, but I couldn't do it without the team.
Oh wow, that's nice. Okay. With the Ben chapter launch, what do you think Ben should focus on?
Definitely. So I think that we can focus on local community outreach, again, going with the same theme of engagement. I do think that there's opportunities to connect with HBCUs or historically black colleges and universities. There's a lot of talent that's out there. You can actually do community outreach within here. So you have Virginia State University that I mentioned before. You have several colleges and universities that are within, I would say, about 45 minutes. So not just HBCUs, but all colleges, but it's an opportunity to reach out, engage talent. Coming out of college, I didn't know anything about Amazon. And so having that face and representation of the company, being there, would provide a nice impact.
Okay. So Ben connects members with mentors and provides career and personal development workshops. What first steps do you recommend to our associates for the furthering of their Amazon careers?
So there's one thing is understanding the leadership principles. So with the leadership principles, if we understand what the meaning is for each of them, then we can correlate that to our day-to-day. I would say the second thing is really diving into your resume and understanding the STAR method and being able to create stories. But prior to all of that, I think that there's opportunities looking at the interim roles that we have, especially during prime and peak season. It allows the associate to gain new experiences and then prepare them for roles and interviewing at the next level. So I think those are definitely some keys.
Okay. What does leadership look like to you?
So leadership, really in a nutshell, to me, is removing obstacles for a team. So our entire job as a leader is to create an environment to where our team members can be successful. And at the end of the day, it's removing obstacles that allow them to flourish, learn from their mistakes, and allow them to fall forward and continue to grow.
So do you think that, I remember you and I had a conversation yesterday about being perfect. Why do you think in our conversation, why do you think it's not a good idea to be perfect? Right.
So I think that when it comes to perfection, a lot of times is we can be constructive and over criticize our team on perfection. I think that we should always strive to reach perfection. But the key is the journey is the most important thing, and focusing on actions rather than the mistakes that we made historically. The action is the most important thing because it allows us to grow. That growth, that journey, that evolution is the key, not perfection. It's the goal, but that's not the journey.
I think I learn more whenever I mess up. Because then once I mess up, then I learn how to go back and fix it and like really dive deep into what I did wrong. So it makes it, and then it also makes it easier to teach and help someone so they won't do what I did.
Absolutely.
So what do you believe is your strongest leadership principle and why?
So I would say my strongest leadership principle, my favorite, is hire and develop the best. So, and the reason why it's important to me is because if you as a leader are operating from the stance of where I have to have every answer for every situation, then the business, the operation, the associates solely depend on you. But hiring and develop the best is forcing yourself or putting yourself in a position to trust your team to make those mistakes. And again, just like you mentioned before, the journey is the most important. That's how you grow, that's how you develop, that's how we evolve. And so spending time in that space allows me as a leader, as an individual, to look at things at a higher level while focusing my efforts on my team's development.
That's awesome. Well, that's all of my questions. That's all I have. I would like to thank you on behalf of Ben for allowing me this time because I know you're super busy. There's a line outside the door, probably out there right now. Chimes just going off, emails just going off. But thank you for taking the time to allow me to interview you for Ben. Absolutely. Is there any words you would like to leave us with?
Look forward to the launch. I can't wait to see all of the benefits, the growth, the engagement of our community, of each other. I look forward to a lot of the success.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Boom!